Hey, what's up everyone, this is Saurav from TechYard, and in today's video I will be talking about my full experience on the Xiaomi Y1. Now I didn't make a pros and cons video because I was busy using the X4, the Motorola X4. So in this video I will be talking about the pros as well as the cons. But before that, let me give you a quick overview of this device. The Xiaomi Y1 is actually been made for the selfie centric people unlike me, and actually it's a very low cost phone costing around 9,000 rupees for the 3 gigs 32 gigs edition and 11,000 rupees for the 4 gigs and 64 gigs edition. And all the specs like the rear 30 megapixel camera, front 16 megapixel camera with a dedicated flash, and this phone is powered by Snapdragon 435. The latest variant of the Redmi series, which is the Redmi 4, is also having same kind of specifications, same kind of internals, but missing out on a 5.5-inch display that this device has. But the Redmi 4 has 4000 device. That's an entirely different video. That's actually more of a comparison video that I'm not gonna make right now. So guys, in this video I will be talking about the pro side and the con side of the Y1, so that you can decide whether you're gonna buy it or not. So without further ado, let's get started. So guys, coming to the very first thing about the pro side, which is the display. Now this phone is having a 5.5-inch display with a resolution of 1280 by 720. Now when the phone was about to get launched, before the launch I told you all that the Redmi 4 having a 720p display on a 5-inch size, and this phone having a 720p display on a 5.5-inch size, it's gonna differ a lot because I had my bad experiences in the past when I used a 5.5-inch device, a 5.5-inch display with a resolution of 720p, and there were some issues of pixelation. But in this case, in this phone, I was completely wrong, and I was happy because I was wrong. The display quality is decent. I won't say it's great. By far the best display quality I have ever got from a Xiaomi device under 10,000 rupees is from Redmi Note 4. So the display quality is decent, the panel quality is decent, I would say. The resolution is okayish, but the color reproduction is good, and while watching movies, cartoons, any other kind of web series you are watching on your phone, I don't think you will be disappointed. And moreover, one thing I would love to say is that the brightness is good in indoor conditions, but in outdoor conditions it's not that great. I will be talking about that in the con section. And yes, the display is definitely protected by Corning Gorilla Glass solution. So yeah, you do get protection, but if you are a very rough user, I recommend you go and buy a tempered glass maybe. If not tempered glass, then do buy a screen guard at least, because if you're a rough user, I don't think that protection is gonna last very long. But for my usage, I haven't got a single scratch on the display, and really I'm happy in that case. So guys, coming to the next point, which is the SIM card tray. Now we all know that Y1 was marketed as a phone having a dedicated SD card slot, and that I think is a really good feature. Now a lot of people actually get confused whether to buy the 32GB edition or the 64GB edition if there is no dedicated SD card slot, because we all want to have two SIMs, because dual SIM is currently a very common thing in India, and at the same time nowadays the file sizes, the game sizes, they're getting bigger and bigger day by day. So 32GB sometimes is not very much for a lot of people. But with this phone, I really felt that it is a very good step towards future, and I think it's a very good step towards customer engagement. Because if you really, okay, just let me give you an example. Suppose you are planning to buy the 4 gigs 64 gigs edition just because of the storage. Now you do have a dedicated SD card slot. So what you can do, you can easily buy this 3 gigs edition for 9,000 rupees, buy a 64GB card around what, 1,500 or something, and you still have 500 bucks left in your hand, and then buy a screen guard and a back cover with that money. So within 11,000, okay, you are sacrificing 1 gigs of RAM. I will talk about that later on, but we are getting a lot more things in that in that price bracket. So I think buying the 3 gigs and 32 gigs edition is the best choice for you all, and then buy a dedicated SD card slot to storage your media and whatsoever. It's a very good thing. This feature is a very good feature for those people for whom storage is an issue like me. Now guys, coming to the next point, which is the sound quality. Now there are three types of sound quality that you can get from this device. One from the main speaker, one from the 3.5mm headphone jack, another one from the earpiece, because we all buy a phone to talk to somebody. That's what phones are actually made for, basically made for. So guys, the 3.5mm headphone jack quality was decent. The speaker quality was good, I would say. But for both the cases, for headphone jack or the speaker, when I was in the full volume, I really felt the quality and the clarity of the music was decreased a lot. The volume was high, but the quality was not there. Around in the 80% region, I got the best output. So if you're listening from the speaker or from the headphone jack, use that 80% kind of barrier. Don't go above that, you will lose clarity. Stay around the 80% to 85% barrier, you will get the maximum output from there. And talking about the call reception or the earpiece quality, it is really good. It is really good, and I felt it is better than the Redmi 4, which is coming in the same price bracket. I told you the same thing in the Xiaomi A1 review, that the earpiece quality is really good, and I'm talking about the same thing right now. The earpiece quality in this price tag is really good. Now guys, coming to the 4, and I know you people are gonna thinking where is the selfie camera, but in this case the pro side is not only the selfie camera. At the same time, the rear camera performs very good in my opinion. I took some good shots in broad daylight with the rear camera, and I was quite happy with it. I showed all of the pictures in the unboxing video. Due to some issues in the weather in West Bengal, I was not able to make a dedicated camera review, and at that moment Motorola X4 arrived, so we were busy with that. So sorry for that, but the images that I clicked with it in the broad daylight were very good in my opinion from the rear camera, and it is a selfie centric phone, so definitely the front camera is going to be good. But I really felt in the low light conditions I was looking more like a cartoon than I already look. So I think in low light conditions both the cameras struggle. The front camera, being a 16 megapixel one, struggles a lot, I would say. And in broad daylight both the cameras perform very good. And not only the front camera guys, the rear cameras is good too. But if you really want to compare it with the Redmi 4, I think the rear camera, the rear camera on the Redmi 4 is better than the rear camera on the Y1. But overall, if you ask me for a total package, I'll definitely choose Y1 over the Redmi 4 any day. For normal daylight photography, in low light photography, all the phones in this price tag, they do struggle, so that's not a big deal. Now guys, coming to the 5th point, which is the MIUI 9. Now I know that MIUI 9 is still going to get launched for a lot of devices. Well, it has been officially launched, but not a lot of people has got that, except Redmi Note 4 users, Mi 6 users, and probably Y1 users. I don't know, I don't have any news regarding the Redmi 4 users who they have. I don't know if they have got the official stable build of the MIUI 9 or not. So guys, in the second point I was talking about the dedicated SD card slot, and I was talking about that you can easily skip the 4 gigs edition, you can easily go for the 3 gigs edition and buy those extra stuffs. Now why? Because of the MIUI 9, because MIUI 9 is fast and fluid and the RAM management is excellent. I really don't think you need 4 gigs of RAM. You are not going to do video rendering on a Snapdragon 435. So what's the point of buying a phone of that kind of high RAM? 3 gigs RAM will be way more than enough for 99.99% users, that I believe. And if you really belong to the 0.01%, okay, you are good to go for the 4 gigs editions. But I really think 3 gigs and 2 gigs edition is the best buy that you can do for the Y1, and then buy the other stuffs if you really can expand your budget. You get the SD card and other stuff like the the screen guard and the back cover. So yeah, that's entirely up to you. But MIUI 9 is fast, is fluid, and the customizations is smooth. I really am in love with the MIUI 9. But as currently I'm testing the X4, so I have to go back to the stock Android every day. So guys, coming to the last point of the pro section, which is the battery backup. I know people are gonna tell me that it has got freaking 3000 mAh battery backup. How it can perform good? But it really did. I don't know whether it is MIUI 9 or any kind of customizations or tweaks that Xiaomi has done, but the battery backup was really good in my opinion. I got more than a day in my usage, which is a pretty good thing, and I think it's okay for a 3000 mAh device. I get more than that on a 4000 mAh device, but it is a 3000 mAh device, but I think it performed better than a 4000 mAh device if I just do a ratio of the time that I used both the devices on a full charge. I really think the 3000 mAh did a perfect job being a 3000 mAh device. I think that tweaking, I don't know where Xiaomi has done it, maybe it's because of MIUI 9, but it really performed well in my opinion. Now guys, coming to the con side. Now the first con is the build quality. The biggest drawback of this phone is that this phone is made out of plastic and the quality is not that good either. And I really felt that Xiaomi could have gone with a higher quality plastic, but they didn't go for that. I don't know what Xiaomi was thinking. I know the reason. The reason is actually cost cutting because Xiaomi has to do that right now. But if we just talk about other devices in this price tag, like Redmi Note 4 is available at 10,000 rupees with Snapdragon 625. That is also a metal unibody design. The Redmi 4 is a metal unibody design. I really think that Xiaomi could have come up with a metal unibody design, but nonetheless the build quality, it's not that great. But it's okay. It's okay for daily usage. But I would say that buy a back cover for the phone. I think it's needed. Now coming to the next point of the con side, which is the sunlight readability. The sunlight readability is the worst I've ever seen in a 10,000 budget segment. Previously, I was not happy with the Redmi 4s, but Redmi 4 worked in pretty good cases. At some points, Redmi 4 worked good, but I haven't found a single case where I can tell you that the Y1 performed good. The sunlight readability is horrible. It is just horrible. If you are a daily traveler, if you travel a lot, if you work under the sunlight, and if you actually travel a lot under the sunlight, this phone is gonna ruin your mood very, very much. So be aware of that case. Be aware of that case. In direct sunlight, the screen is completely not readable. That's what I felt. Coming to the number 3, which is not a very big of a deal, but for a lot of people, I think it's going to be a very big of a deal, which is the no backlit on the navigation buttons. Now I know with further usage, with daily usage, it will be a habit. The 3 keys will be your habitual fact, but in the beginning for users and after using for quite a long time, I think a lot of people gonna think that why there is no backlit on the navigation buttons. I really think there should be a backlit on the navigation buttons, but sadly there is not. Now guys, coming to the last point of the con section, which is the poor weight distribution. Now this phone is a 5.5 inch display, and I have used some 5.5 inch displays earlier from Xiaomi as well, like the Redmi Note 4, and I really felt that the phone weighs more than having a 3000 mAh device. Now okay, it is having a 3000 mAh battery, and battery takes a lot of a weight of a single phone, but here in this case this phone weighs almost the same around a Redmi Note 4, but having a less amount of battery, and more than that the weight distribution was not that good. I really feel the phone is heavy when I'm holding it in the hand, more than I feel in the case of the Redmi Note 4. The weight distribution could have been better. I really think it could have been better. I don't know what Xiaomi was thinking and what they have done with it, because I can't open the phone. So yeah, I think the weight distribution could have been better, but I think with regular usage you will be accustomed to this whole thing. So it's not a very big of a deal, but for a user like me who is very much skeptical about each devices, this is what happens. So guys, this is all for today. I hope you love the content, and talking about the question that you're gonna ask me right now, I know you're gonna ask me, should you buy this phone or not? Now guys, there is a confusion, because I know you people are confused, because at the same price tag we have Redmi 4, at the same price tag we have Xiaomi Y1, and almost at the same price we have Redmi Note 4. Now the Redmi Note 4 is having a 5.5 inch display which is full HD, Snapdragon 625 and stuff like that. The Redmi 4 on the other hand having a 4000 mAh battery with a smaller display. Some people love smaller display like me. And the Y1 on the other hand, it is actually based for the selfie centric people. And at the same time, the Y1 is also actually being sold or actually being made for the people who love the extra expansion option of the SD card. Now if you are looking for a phone which is having both good cameras on the front and the back, and if you are looking for a phone that is having a dedicated SD card slot, I think you can easily go for the Y1, leaving the Redmi Note 4 and the Xiaomi Redmi 4 behind. But if performance is the only thing that you need, then you should look for the Redmi Note 4, leaving this Redmi 4 and the Y1 at the same time aside. So I hope you have got my point. I'm telling you it again. For selfie cameras and the rear camera and the external and dedicated SD card expansion option, Y1 is your only choice. Otherwise, you should just skip it and go for the Redmi Note 4 if your budget is like that. So that's all I have to say. So guys, this is all for today. I hope you love this video. Now if you love the video, you know what to do, because it is free, and do this, please do this, it is free. And if you don't like the video, you know what to do. But if you do this, YouTube will charge you 10 rupees. So don't do this. This is bad. This is very bad. And guys, if you are very new to this channel and have watched this video till this end and haven't subscribed, do subscribe. It is also free. And hit the bell icon. It is also free. And stay with us till the next video. Stay awesome. Stay subscribed. Bye bye now.